as the regular season winds down. We have a top 20 matchup tonight here in Baton Rouge as the 15th ranked Oregon State Beavers take on the 4th ranked LSU Tigers. Oregon State is 9-2 on the season, 4-2 in the Pac-12, and undefeated on the road this year in 4 trips. LSU is 9-3 overall, 4-3 in the SEC, and the Tigers have lost only 1 home meet in the last 5 seasons. Number 15, Oregon State. Number 4, LSU, coming up live on the SEC ESPN Network. Oh, there's excitement in the air tonight. Welcome to the Maravich Center, everyone, on the campus of LSU in Baton Rouge. It's college gymnastics between the Oregon State Beavers and the LSU Tigers from the SEC. Come on inside this beautiful building with Kaylee Dixon-Abood, a former 2-time All-America in the all-around. I'm Lynn Rollins. Kaylee, let's look back in the rearview mirror a little bit at this now end of the season for LSU. Back in December and January, great expectations. A bit of a slow start by LSU standards, but the Tigers in the last few weeks have been approaching that immense potential that the coaching staff thought it had.
You know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And over the past few weeks, LSU has found their mix of lineups. And I think that proved to be true last week. 197-9 versus Georgia, just shy of that 198 mark. I think they're hitting their stride, and that 198 mark is exactly where they want to be going into postseason if they want to win a championship.
That score against Georgia was the highest for LSU this season, and it included 2 10s.
Lexi Priestman earned the first perfect 10 in the SEC on bars last week, and she was the 4th gymnast in LSU's school history to score a 10. Then over on balance beam, Sarah Finnegan got her 4th perfect score of her career, the 2nd on balance beam, and the 1st perfect beam score in the country. Indeed,
a special moment for her last week. Now, Oregon State, obviously very good away from Corvallis this year. 4 meets, 4 victories. It's not going to be anticipated by this near-capacity crowd. It's going to be loud. It's going to be raucous. There are thousands and thousands of LSU fans here supporting their Tigers, but Oregon State is up to it.
Absolutely. They've proven to be great on the road, and they're looking to improve their regional qualifying score tonight so that they can replace the 195-825 team score that they posted last week on the road. So the regional qualifying score is when the team's top 6 regular season meet scores, 3 must be away. You remove the highest score and then average the remaining 5, and that's how these teams get posted into their regional championships.
I'm looking forward to seeing Oregon State in particular on the floor exercise. It's their best event, and it's drawing some notice across the country.
I've heard that it's the buzz in Oregon. Their choreography is apparently very exciting, very different. Their tumbling is great, so I'm really excited to see what they have in store.
Well, speaking of buzz, the sport of gymnastics in Baton Rouge on this campus and across the South Louisiana portion of the state has just exploded in the last 4 or 5 seasons. I'm showing you a copy of the latest Reveille, the award-winning student newspaper here at LSU. This is the front page. It's devoted to gymnastics, the spectacular part of this sport, how leotards are made and the fashion that goes within that, and a behind-the-scenes look. That illustrates the popularity. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people are here on Friday nights.
Absolutely. From my freshman year to now, it's amazing to see the transformation that the PMAC has had. There used to be a few thousand, and now the PMAC is packed every Friday night. So the buzz around campus, around Baton Rouge, it's all about LSU gymnastics.
Only Utah and Alabama this season have higher home crowds on average than LSU. Now, this is a special moment for 4 seniors. Yes, there will be a regional here in early April, which will be the last meet in the building of the season, but the regular season comes to an end in this building tonight for 4 seniors.
Juliana Canamella, McKenna Kelly, Lexi Priestman, and Sarah Finnegan will have their last home meet tonight in the PMAC, and I know it's a very bittersweet moment for them. They're excited to come out here, and they're excited to close out the chapter of gymnastics that they've been doing for their whole lives. So I know it's a very bittersweet moment for them, and they're excited to get out there and show this crowd what they can do one last time.
We are just seconds away from the start of tonight's meet between Oregon State and LSU. Let's look at side-by-side numbers to this point in the season. LSU holds an advantage in all 4 categories.
As you can see, you want to be in that mid-49 range, and LSU is almost there, and Oregon State is just a few tenths shy of that, but all of OSU's lineups are ranked in the top 26 in the nation, and they have potential to score in the mid-197s as well.
Well, let's look at the way it lines up for LSU on vault tonight. The Tigers, of course, will start on vault. Oregon State will be on bars. Sarah Finnegan, Ruby Harold, McKenna Kelly, Lexi Priestman, Sarah Edwards, and Kennedy Edney. That's Dee Dee Bro's lineup tonight on vault.
Sarah Finnegan has been a great leadoff for this vault lineup. Last week she opened with a 9.875, which is a very, very strong starting score because as you go down the lineup, the scores tend to build. So starting off at such a high score sets the rest of the lineup up for other great scores to come.
If Sarah Finnegan does not win the all-around, it's news. She's been that consistent and that good and performing at a high level for several years now at LSU.
She's proven to be very consistent, one of the most consistent all-arounders in the country, so I would be very shocked as well.
So we are just about set for action here in the Maravich Center, LSU and Oregon State. There you see Dee Dee Bro. No coach in the history of the Southeastern Conference has been at the post longer than Dee Dee Bro.
And she's done it with enthusiasm every single year.
We're not limiting that to gymnastics. That's across the whole sports spectrum in the SEC. You might be able to shoehorn another fan or two into this building, but very few empty seats right now.
Absolutely. It's going to get loud.
Sarah Finnegan opening the vault for LSU.
That was a beautiful Yurchenko layout full. I mean, just as good as you can possibly do that vault.
Let's look at the Oregon State bars lineup after a wonderful vault by Sarah Finnegan. This is the way it lines up for Oregon State on bars. Colette Yamaoka starts it off. Mary Jacobson, Isis Lowry, Mariana Galusi-Pelez, Hallie Briscoe, and Sabrina Gill. Out of Hollister, California, Yamaoka first up for Oregon State.
She's proven to be extremely consistent on this event, hitting all 7 of her bar routines so far this season. And consistency is exactly what you want with that first person up. You want them to set the tone, and you want to make sure that they're going to hit so that the rest of the lineup feels comfortable. She's doing a great job so far. Blind full into a double tuck. Tiny step on the landing, but overall a very nice start.
Indeed it was. And speaking of nice starts, how about Sarah Finnegan's vault? A 9-9 to open things.
So release again, and now her dismount. Nice double tuck. Tiny step on the landing, but overall a great start for Oregon State.
Ruby Harold is up next for LSU on vault.
Ruby Harold does a Yurchenko full and half, which starts from a 10-0. She definitely is capable of scoring 9.95 or a 10 if she nails that landing. Right, she dropped her chest at the end and had to take a step, but it was high, it had some distance, and it was very powerful. Since that vault is a blind landing, sticking it is extremely difficult, even though every girl makes it look very easy.
Maddie Dagan is up next on bars for Oregon State. She's got a sister, Lacey, who also competes on this team.
Next up from Oregon State, Mary Jacobson.
Yamaoka was 9.75 on the opening bar routine.
9.875 is the season best for Jacobson on bars. Huge Tkachev immediately into a bail. Nice handstand right on top. Line change into a double front. Small hop on the landing, but the rest of that routine was very pretty.
So a bit of a problem on the landing, but everything else was very nice. Ruby Harold with a 9.85 on the second vault for LSU. And up third, McKenna Kelly.
McKenna Kelly got a 9.875 last week, but her vault also starts from a 10.0, so she can definitely creep up to the 9.975 or 10.0 range if she does what she is capable of doing.
Kelly will also anchor the floor exercise for LSU tonight.
Beautiful height, beautiful distance, a little bit of chest down on the landing, but she was fighting to get that stick.
Do you see a little bit of mom in that vault? Mary Lou Retton.
Absolutely. You can't fight genetics. There it is, the pike half. Small hop and a little bit of a wobble, but man, that was a nice vault.
So we await McKenna Kelly's score. And Caitlin Yanish is next. Or I beg your pardon. This is Isis Lowry coming up.
She has proved to be extremely consistent as well. She's hit 20 for 20 routines in 2019 so far.
Mary Jacobson was 9.65 on her bar routine.
Nice chapash to the high bar. Pack salto right back down to the low. Half pirouette. Nice handstand. Sets it up for the dismount. Nice double layout and a beautiful stuck landing. That was a great routine.
You know, I don't know when we're going to see Oregon State fire up the chainsaw, but when they have a stuck landing, they've got a mock chainsaw they fire up. They say it's cutting sticks. In other words, sticking the landing. They're putting sticks in the beaver dam.
I love that. I think it's so fun, and it makes sticking even more exciting.
After the 9.9 by Finnegan, a pair of 9.85s by Harold and Kelly on vault, and now we go to Lexi Priestman.
That was another beautiful Yurchenko layout full. She took a tiny hop on the landing, but I know she's excited to get back out there and compete vault for the Tigers.
Priestman, the senior, the 3-year letter winner from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Small hop, but again, another great vault.
Lowry had a very solid score on bars, a 9.8. This is Mariana Kalusi Palayath. They call her Pinky.
She's got a 9.875 as her career high on this event.
That's a bit unusual, isn't it?
Straddled Jaeger. It's very nice. Bail handstand. She's got beautiful lines and a really nice toe point. Sets it up for the dismount. And another stuck landing. The sticks are contagious.
Crank that
nice.
chainsaw.
She goes for that release move, a straddled Jaeger. And then here's that dismount again, a nice big double A, and sticks the landing.
Priestman scored a 9.8 on her vault. That's the lowest vault score so far for LSU. And Sarah Edwards is next for the Tigers.
She will also compete a Yurchenko full and a half, and she can definitely nail this vault. Let's see what she does. So close. She had very nice control in the air. I thought she might stick it, but she did take a tiny step.
She's got a lot of speed down the runway, doesn't she?
A lot of speed, a lot of power. There's so much height and distance on her vault. Watch how high she goes. And she's landing in the middle of that mat. She's tiny, so that just shows how much power she's got going down the runway.
Hallie Briscoe is next for the Beavers. Sabrina Gill will follow.
Hallie's career high is a 9.875.
Kalusi Palayath had a 9.825 on bars.
Very nice bail to handstand. She's got beautiful handstands right on top so far. There's the dismount. Another double layout and another stuck landing for Oregon State.
That's 3 in a row. Perfect landings for the Beavers.
Very nicely done. It's all about the stick. You want the last thing in the judge's mind to be something Very impressive, and that stuck landing kind of puts the exclamation point on a great routine.
Following the 9-9 by Sarah Edwards, here's the anchor in vault, Kennedy Edney.
And she's just got power. This vault is huge.
Averaging almost 9-9 on the vault this year.
She's definitely capable of a 9-9 plus score. Very nicely executed. Again, just a small hop on the landing, but I mean, the vault is just beautiful.
Her teammates did well before her because there were 5 very respectable scores. It doesn't necessarily remove the pressure from Kennedy Edney, but there's a little bit of a safety net when those first 5 are very nice scores.
Absolutely. You kind of can take the pressure off yourself a little bit when you know that the rest of your teammates have done well. But there's also the pressure of doing even better so you can get that other score in there so you can get a total team score. That's the best it can be.
Sabrina Gill will wrap it up on bars for the Beavers.
And she's definitely capable of scoring a 9-9 plus on this event. Her lines are beautiful. Her handstands are very nice. Right on top. Here comes the dismount. Nice double layout. Kind of rolled out of that landing, so let's see if they'll give her the stick. But overall, it was a very nice routine and a very nice bar lineup from Oregon State.
And we will have an exhibition by the Oregon State Beavers.
Kind of got back in her heels there, but overall, a very nice bar set.
Well, we understand that Caitlin Yanish, who was to perform in exhibition fashion, now has been scratched from that. So we are done with the first rotation. LSU 49.375 on vault. Oregon State 48.90 on bars. We will return to the Maravich Center in a moment on the SEC ESPN Network.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
After one rotation in the Maravich Center tonight before another packed house, LSU off to a good start on vault, 49.375. That despite no real firm sticks on the landing for the Tigers. Oregon State with a nice bar routine at 49.10. Let's take a look at the LSU individual scores. Lexi Priestman's 9.8 was the lowest score. That's discarded. Very solid scoring for LSU in vault. And Oregon State also performing nicely on bars as we take a look at their scores. The 9.65 by Jacobson is thrown out, but a good start by the Beavers on the bars here on the road. We will come back in just a moment as we continue between rotations. Look at the crowd here in the Maravich Center yet again, the place to be on Friday nights in the SEC.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
We return between rotations here in the Maravich Center. LSU with a 49.375 on vault, including the 9.9 by Sarah Edwards, which ties her season's high score, 49.10 on bars for Oregon State. Here's what's left on the schedule for the Beavers. They'll take on a host of teams on March 15th. Then they go to the Pac-12 Championships in Utah. At the NCAA Regionals in Corvallis, they too will host. And the NCAA Championship, of course, is in Fort Worth on the 19th and 20th of April. For LSU, this is what remains. At Arizona, then the SEC Championship at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. So all of these LSU gymnastics fans will have a chance to go down and fill the Smoothie King Center for what is always a spectacular SEC Championship meet. The NCAA Regional is here April 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then the NCAA Championships conclude the season on the 19th and 20th of April. That's what's upcoming. This is the time of the season, and you know it well, Kaylee, that the knees are a little loose, the ankles are sore, the hips can get sore, but you just got to fight through it here with 2 or 3 weeks left.
Absolutely. The landings are not forgiving, especially in the competition arena. You're going on a hard surface, so everyone's a little bit beat up by this point in the season, but with a good training staff and just monitoring what you're doing, everybody should be able to push through and get that adrenaline pumping to finish off the season strong.
Here's the Oregon State vault lineup, and McKinney Singley will open it, averaging 9.77 this year on vault. .9875 is her season's best. So we'll see what she does in this first spot in their vault lineup. Very nice Yurchenko layout full. She got a lot of distance on that vault, a lot of speed. Remember, the layout full starts from a 9.95, so you're not getting that half a tenth back. So you're already starting out with a little bit of a deduction on that vault. Here's the upcoming lineup for LSU on bars. Sammy Durante will lead it off. And you see the rest there as we take a look at Durante getting ready for the Tigers.
Last week she had an amazing bar set. She opened up this lineup scoring a 9.9, and that's just huge because it sets the rest of the bars lineup up for some great scores. Huge straddle Jaeger.
LSU was terrific in this event a year ago.
Absolutely. They've just improved every single year on bars, and Jay Clark has done such a great job working the details with his bar team. Handstands and landings are vital. Nice full out. She starts off with a stick. Here's that huge straddle Jaeger again. Beautifully done. And then that dismount and nice full out, and tops it off with a nice stuck landing.
Maddie Dagan, who's a freshman, has burst on the scene. She's done quite well as a first-year gymnast.
She absolutely has. 9.875 is her career high on this event. Small step on the landing, but she had a lot of height, a lot of distance, just kind of had a pipe down at the end of that vault, so that's why she had to take a step. Again. Small pike down, small step, but overall a nice vault.
Ferrer is up now, Bailey Ferrer, after a 9.9 by Sammy Durante to get things started.
It's a great start. Let's see what Bailey can do here to keep things rolling for this bar lineup. Nice straddle Jaeger. Good handstand right on top. Into a bail handstand. She goes for her dismount. Save that handstand. It was a little bit over vertical. And a nice double layout with a small step on the landing.
For most of your LSU career, you competed in all 4 events. What was the most difficult for you? What's the most physically demanding week after week?
Well, the most difficult for me was, without a doubt, the uneven bars. We had our struggles over there, and Jay Clark and I were actually just laughing about my time over there on bars. But for me, it was bars, but for every other gymnast, it kind of changes. It depends on the person.
Bars is unique, though, with the muscles that are used, the body parts, and what's expected, as opposed to the other events.
Yes, it's definitely very difficult. That was a gorgeous Yurchenko layout full. She flared it out at the end, and she saw that landing. She knew she was going to stick it in the air.
Patty Dagan preceded her with a 9.775.
There's that flare, and there's the stick. Very nicely done.
Bailey Ferrer's bar score was 9.75.
Next on bars for the Fighting Tigers.
And here is Ruby Harrell.
Ruby got a 9.85 last week, so we'll see if she can improve that a little bit, because she definitely is capable of getting a higher score on this event.
Her best score this season is 9.925.
Tiny mistake there, fell over on that release move. She was supposed to keep going into her kit, but she recovered well.
How much might that cost her?
Maybe 3/10, because it wasn't quite a fall, but
that's substantial, though.
yes, absolutely. Everything matters. She stuck the dismount, which was good. She finished the routine very well, but that mistake is unfortunately going to cost her.
That's too bad, because the rest of the routine was really nice.
It was. There's that dismount again with a nicely stuck landing.
Janisch with a 9.925 on vault. That's the best score of the night so far.
It's a beautiful vault. Mary definitely is capable of scoring a 9.95. It's her best on this event. And that is a suit layout full, and that vault is very difficult to do. Not many people do a Souk layout full, so that was a very impressive vault. Starts from a 10-0, tiny pike down and tiny hop, but you have to look at how difficult that is to do.
You might have a career as a judge, though, because you said there would be a 3/10 deduction for Ruby Harrell. She scored 9.7.
Yeah, I would say that was her deduction for sure, because the rest of it was very nice. Kennedy is capable of scoring a 9.9 plus on this event as well. She's got huge height on her release moves. Nicely hit handstands.
Her strength is impressive.
Absolutely, and her power and everything that she does. Just the dismount left. Let's see if she can stick it. Nice double lay. Small hop on the landing. Call that a little bit of a college stick. We'll see what the judges think.
9.925 has been her season's high, and I think that vault is going to approach that.
Maybe so. We'll have to see what it does. Huge release move. I mean, look at the air that she gets. And then the dismount. Very nicely done.
Big on bars, indeed. Lena Green, averaging 9.9, very high scores.
Front handspring, front pike half. Very difficult vault again. I like that they're doing a mix of different vaults. Occasionally in college, you'll only see Yurchenko, so it's really cool to see that they're mixing it up. Small chest down and step back, but very good.
Well, the judges were not as impressed with Edney as I was, a 9.875. You saw some slight deductions in that, didn't you?
Maybe some form here and there, and then definitely the small hop on the landing. It's Lexi Priestman scored a perfect 10 on this event, and she is capable of that every single time she steps foot on this equipment.
Such grace, such power.
Everything she does is very deliberate. She closes her handstands fast and sharp. It's a beautiful routine. Small hop on the landing, but very, very beautiful. You can't expect much more.
All right, Judge Abood, what do you think?
I think it'll go 9.95.
Near perfect then.
Near perfect. The really only thing I saw was that tiny hop on that double layout dismount.
Green was 9.775 on vault. And here's Lacey Dagan.
Nice Yurchenko layout full. Pike down and a hop back on the landing, but she had a lot of power.
Score on the uneven bar. For Lexi Priestman. 9.99.
Your crystal ball is working well tonight. 9.95 for Lexi Priestman. That's exactly what you thought it would be.
Looks like I need to go be a judge, huh?
Here's Sarah Finnegan. Again, a picture of beauty on this event.
And she is again capable of scoring a perfect 10 on this event, as she is all others. Nice handstand to a toe hand, down to the low bar for a bail handstand. Just look at her toes. They're completely glued together with every single move she does.
All of the little things she takes care of.
Absolutely. It's all in the details. And that may get a 10. I hope it does, because I didn't see anything. That was beautiful.
Look at the crowd, a standing ovation. This place is rocking after that gorgeous performance on the bars.
It was pretty, that's for sure. The crowd is cheering 10, so we'll see what the judges do here.
We'll just let the crowd tell the story here once that score is posted. She's wearing the crown, isn't she?
Yep, that means that her teammates saw that routine and they crowned her the stick queen.
Nia Mack is going to do an exhibition vault.
Yurchenko layout full, pike down, and a small hop back on the landing, but it's good that she got out there and was able to exhibition to get that competitive experience.
And you're hearing a chorus of boos come up from the crowd because Sarah Finnegan did not score a 10. It was very close, 9.975.
So one judge thought it was perfect, the other one took a half a tenth, and I would love to know what that deduction was, because with Sarah, it's very hard to see deductions in all of her routines.
LSU at 98.87 midway through this meet, 98.15 for Oregon State. We'll be back in a moment as we continue from the Maravich Center on the SEC ESPN Network.
In the developing world today, 1 in 7 girls are forced to marry before their 15th birthday. Child Fund International works to prevent these marriages through education and training. Child Fund International. Learn more at childfund.org.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Well, let's review the team scores as we are at the midway point here in the Maravich Center. Oregon State 98.15, LSU out in front with a 98.87. And we focus on Oregon State's scores on the vault. The 9.75 by Lacey Dagan was discarded. A high of 9.925 by Giannis, and that's the best vault of the night. LSU was very good on the bars. The 9.7 by Ruby Harold was thrown aside. Sarah Finnegan's 9.975 ties a season high. And also the same for the Sammy Durante 9.9. So those two with very, very nice performances.
Absolutely. They had a great bar set.
We'll be back in a moment as we continue here from the Maravich Center. Oregon State LSU Gymnastics on the SEC ESPN Network.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
LSU out in front after two events, 98.87 to 98.15. The Tigers and the Beavers from Oregon State doing battle in front of a capacity crowd in the Maravich Center tonight at LSU. Let's cast our gaze nationally. The road to the Nationals top 20. Oklahoma holds on to the number one spot. UCLA is number 2. They've been battling back and forth all season. Florida out of the SEC number 3. LSU has been entrenched in that 4th spot for most of the season. Utah number 5. Then you see Denver and Michigan, Georgia from the SEC, and Alabama. Number 10 is Minnesota. We turn the page on the second 10. Boise State number 11. Kentucky and Auburn are right there at 12 and 13. Missouri number 17, Arkansas number 20, as we see the parity across the country come to the forefront.
Absolutely. Gymnastics is the best of the best in the SEC, and that's proven to be true with all 8 SEC teams in the Road to Nationals top 20.
Have there been any surprises for you from SEC performers this year from a team standpoint?
I think that LSU really has the standout performers with Sarah Finnegan and Kennedy Edney, but Florida, I mean, there's standout athletes everywhere in the SEC, and every single team in the SEC has those girls that are on the watch list.
LSU on beam, Desiderio, Dean, Durante, Edney, Campbell, and Finnegan.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to begin the third rotation of tonight's meeting.
LSU last week on beam, 49.650 last week versus Georgia, which is the second highest score in school history and the highest in the nation this year.
Very, very strong.
The team that wins beam wins the meet is what Dee Dee Bro has always preached, and so they're off to a great start with this beam lineup.
This is one of my favorite things in all of sports.
Christina Desiderio led off last week with a 9.9. And again, like we talked about earlier, that sets the tone for the rest of the lineup. So that 9.9 that she put up first up is huge. Beautiful back handspring layout step out. Got very nice rhythm, very nice tempo. You want to make sure that you're moving down the beam and not taking longer than 2 seconds to do your next skill.
That 2-second rule has been a point of emphasis this year.
Absolutely. They want to see you moving and not taking too long in between each acro element or dance element. Very nice lead off her team. Small hop on the landing with a little bit of a pike down, but great set.
That smile tells it all, doesn't it?
Absolutely. She's happy with what she did.
By the way, we take you over to College Station, Texas. LSU defeated Texas A&M in softball, the opening game in the SEC softball season, 17-3, the final. There you see Oregon State's lineup. Dagan Singley, Force, Davis, Lowry, and Giannis. This has been Oregon State's best event this year.
we were told about their choreography, how some of their routines were the most anticipated routines. So I'm excited to see what choreography they have in store for us. It's a very nice punch double full. She made it look easy, but it is definitely not. It is an E scale, which is one of the most difficult you could do.
Oregon State has beaten UCLA on floor this year, which is certainly a major accomplishment with the dynamos that UCLA possesses. UCLA
is a floor team. Their choreography, their tumbling, they are who you want to watch on floor in the NCAA. So for Oregon State to go out and beat them on floor, that's really something.
By the way, a fine start on beam for the Tigers. Desiderio with a 9.9.
Maddie's doing a great job so far. The floor routine's been very clean. Punch layout to a front full, very nicely done. And a great lead off for Oregon State on floor. Some nice double tuck. Very well done, very nice landing. And then a punch layout to a punch full with another great landing. So that should put up a really nice score for them to start off with.
LSU, please welcome Bridget Dean.
Bridget Dean is next on beam for the Tigers.
Bridget has really made her way into more of the lineups than she was in last year, so it's really awesome to see her break through and be a mainstay on this event for the Tigers. Side aerial to that handspring layout step out. That is her acro series, which is a required element, and it's a very different acro series than you typically see.
And kind of a little bit of a different piece of mood music here, isn't it?
Yes, you'll notice in the background everyone's got a different song they do beam to. Kind of calms your nerves, takes your mind kind of off of what you're doing. That way you can let your body take control and keep your mind out of it.
Maddie Dagan was 9.825 on the Oregon State floor exercise.
Bridget's got a great routine going so far. Just the dismount. Beautifully done, a very nice step landing, and I think the judges are going to score her well. There's that acro series again. Very nice.
Rock solid, no wobbles, and dead center in the middle of the beam.
Absolutely, and then finish it off with a beautiful stuck landing. .9875 is McKenna Singley's season high on the floor this year. And a fun fact about her is that her brother Braden helped choreograph Oregon State's floor routines. So that's pretty cool to have your brother involved in that. Nice opening pass.
When Oregon State beat UCLA on the floor exercise, they scored 49.60, missing the school record by just 1/10 or 1/100th. And they beat the Bruins' top-ranked floor lineup on that day.
So far, both of these routines that they've put up are very well done. They're very captivating in their dance. Their tumbling is strong. Tumbling pass, a punch Rudy. Very nice. She got the judges involved. She was enthusiastic. Her teammates were cheering her on. Her tumbling was great. That should really score well. It's a front through to a double back. Stuck landing. And a huge double pike with another stuck landing. So overall, a great start for Oregon State on the floor.
Bridget Dean turned in a 9.875 on beam for LSU. That ties her season's high. And Sammy Durante ready to go.
Sammy got a 9.875 last week, and she's capable of hitting that 9.9 plus mark on balance beam. She's beautiful to watch, and she's been pretty consistent. From aerial to a beat jump. She sets it up for her acro series. She's turned her hips at the end there on her layout step out, but she's got to finish strong, make no more mistakes. Switch lead to a switch quarter. It's always the worst after you fall and you get back up and you've got to, you know you have to finish for your team, but just if I could have one more chance, I know I won't fall. If only there were redos in gymnastics. Side aerial to back full, sticks the landing. A very nice routine besides that fall.
You liked McKenna Singley's floor routine, and so do the judges, 9.85. Savannah Force.
Next on floor, Oregon State, Savannah Force.
This Oregon State team, like LSU, is loaded with very, very good students. 17 Oregon State gymnasts have a 3.0 GPA or better, and 11 of those were 3.5 or better.
That's always really important. Dee Dee and the rest of the coaching staff always preached you're a student first and then an athlete. So that's really good.
There were a couple of Oregon State gymnasts who had perfect 4.0s, and 2 of them in the Honors College.
And that's not easy, especially when you're involved in a sport. Handspring layout to a front full. 2 acro skills directly connected. That's a requirement on floor. Savannah's best on this event is a 9.925. Sets up for that last tumbling pass, takes a deep breath. Double pike just came up a little bit short on that landing.
That's too bad, too, because she really had good height and just kind of gave up on it a little bit.
She did. It looked like it kind of stalled out. Just didn't have enough going into that last pass. Front handspring layout directly connected to a front full. Nicely done. There's that double tuck. That second flip was just a little bit slow.
Sammy Durante, after leaving the beam, at a 9.225, so LSU will look to discard that one. Kennedy Edney can be absolutely stunning on beam.
Absolutely.
Watch her grace and her power and her creativity.
Kennedy got a 9.9 on this event last week, and she's capable of doing that every single time she sets foot on this equipment.
Savannah Force was 9.7 on the floor exercise.
Handspring layout, step out, beautiful.
Edney was a first-team All-America in all 4 events. Well, in 3 events last year, plus the all-around.
She's got a beautiful beam set going so far. It's her front toss in a pike position. She barely even has to squat to land. She's so high.
National vault champion in 2017. Well done. Very well done.
That was a beautiful routine.
And this crowd is on fire in response to Kennedy Edney.
She stuck that dismount cold and put the exclamation point on that beam routine.
What do you think, Judge Abood?
I would like to go 10, but I don't think they will. I would say 9.95.
As you mentioned, the 10 last week by LSU, the only 10 on beam in the country this year.
And that was a long time coming for Sarah Finnegan because she is pretty much perfect every time I see her on balance beam. This is Destiny Davis for Oregon State.
Nice start.
She's bringing it with her dance.
She is.
Getting the crowd involved, making it her own.
Don't think even the LSU fans don't appreciate this either.
Oh, absolutely. Floor is most people's favorite event, so they're enjoying this as well. And she's got big tumbling to go along with it, makes it more exciting.
You know who she reminds me of, an LSU gymnast of yesteryear? Ashley Claire Kearney.
There you go. Ashley Claire Kearney, definitely one of LSU's greats. National champion, current choreographer.
Had that same powerful style we're seeing here, though, and that big smile.
Yep. Lay out to a front full. Very nice routine, ended with some attitude. Just that first pass again. Round off back handspring to a double pike with a beautiful landing.
That's as good as it can get, isn't it?
Yep, you could not ask for more. And then a round off back handspring double tuck with another great landing.
Kennedy Edney on beam was 9.925. That ties her season's high.
So one of the judges agreed with me is what that means. Reagan Campbell last week, 9.975 on this event. So that shows that she is definitely capable of a perfect score.
This is the sophomore from Dallas. She was one of the best freshman beam workers last year.
And this year she's 14th in the nation on balance beam.
She's won one beam title in her career. 9.975 has been her best beam score.
You can tell how confident she is up there, and that's half the battle with balance beam. You have to know that you're going to hit. That was a very beautiful beam routine. Everything was spot on, her form, her grace. That acro series, back handspring layout, step out, she immediately moved into her next dance part. And then a stuck landing. We'll see what the judges think.
You've got to think 9.9 plus, huh?
Absolutely. We've got the student section chanting 10.
Isis Lowry up next on floor.
She has 5 event titles in her career, and they are all on the floor exercise. She's starting off with some sass. Punch double full, very nice. You'll notice the sting mat there to kind of absorb her landing. Like we talked about earlier, gymnastics is not forgiving on the body, so having that sting mat kind of helps out your ankles a little bit, and it is not a deduction to have it there. 4.5 to a front layout.
She's been really good so far. By the way, Reagan Campbell, just short of 10, 9.975. That ties a season's high.
Isis was also the state champion in high jump as a senior in high school, so that's kind of cool that she was doing gymnastics and high jump at the same time. She's got a lot of fun tricks in her floor routine. Very nice.
Yeah. That's the best I think we've seen from Oregon State tonight.
It's very entertaining, and she had a lot of big tumbling to go along with it. 4.5 to a punch layout, perfectly stuck. And that punch Rudy to finish it off, very nice.
That's a spine twister, isn't it?
Absolutely, yep.
All right, let's take a look at Sarah Finnegan on beam.
Sarah is tied for 7th on beam in the NCAA.
She's averaging just under 9.9 for the season. This is one of the best gymnasts, not only in the SEC, but across the country.
She's got an extensive resume in her gymnastics career, and she's just done amazing things collegiately. Very nice leap connection. Everything she does, from her fingers to her toes, is very deliberate, very nice, very graceful, beautiful side stummy.
Sarah Finnegan with 77 total titles in her career.
And a stuck landing. With that 9.975 before her, that might set her up for a 10. We'll see what the judges think. There's that acro series, back handspring layout, step out. That left arm kind of got out there, so if there is a deduction, that might be the one that they took. But from different angles, everything looks a little bit different.
This year, she's won 9 all-around titles, 8 floor exercises, 6 bar titles, 6 on beam, and 2 on vault.
She's just had quite the season, and it's amazing that it's her last year. Time really does fly.
Caitlin Yanish for Oregon State.
That was a huge double layout she just opened up with.
Isis Lowry before her was 9.875. That surprises me a little bit. It looked better than that to me.
Her handspring front full to punch lay.
She pulled it through nicely, didn't she?
She did. Her tumbling's very quick. Switch side to Popa. That's also another required element to have a 180-degree split in your floor routine or jump.
By the way, Finnegan just missed another 10 on beam. She scored 9.975.
Slight wobble on that series. I bet that's what that deduction was. And a huge double tuck to finish off this floor set.
I think she could have dunked a basketball on that one.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff.
Their floor routines have been very entertaining, and they've really gotten into it. There's that double layout again. Very nice. Beautiful landing. And then the last pass, huge double tuck.
So LSU, after the beam routine, with a 148.520. Oregon State at 147.175. We'll take a break and we'll be right back as we wrap it up here in the Maravich Center. LSU with the lead over the Beavers.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
We come to the final rotation. LSU with a 148.52. Oregon State 147.425. The Tigers on beam at 49.65. That ties a school high this year that matches the score against Georgia a year ago. Or I should say a week ago. This is the way it went for Oregon State. Caitlin Yanish was near perfect, anchoring the floor exercise at a 9.95. They tossed out Force's 9.7. And on beam, another very, very strong performance by LSU. You see Campbell, and you see Finnegan, and you see Desiderio and Edney all with outstanding scores. And Bridget Dean with a very solid 9.875. Very well done by the Tigers.
It's an amazing beam team.
So we'll be back as we come to the conclusion from the Maravich Center. LSU with the lead over Oregon State on the SEC ESPN network.
Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. Together, we can end their walk by providing clean water. Because when you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
LSU out in front, 148.52 to 147.425 over Oregon State as we come to the last rotation. And certainly a very sentimental moment right now for the four LSU seniors. Before the meet, they were honored before raucous applause. And these four seniors competing for the last time in this building during the regular season.
It's full of such emotion when you're competing in your senior home meet for the last time. These seniors have grown so much as a person and a student athlete, and competing in front of Tiger Nation, there's just nothing like it. And these four girls have contributed to so much success for this LSU team. National championship, second runner-ups, national SEC championship titles, and we know that they'll be missed. You know, it's really a special, special moment, and I know they're filled with such emotion tonight.
And really, these seniors, their presence here has coincided with the explosion of the popularity. So they've been able to see this whole thing mushroom over their 4-year careers.
Absolutely. Juliana Kennemella, McKenna Kelly, Lexi Priestman, and Sarah Finnegan have definitely felt the love of Tiger Nation and all of the buzz that's been going on about LSU gymnastics in the years that they've competed for the Tigers.
Well, let's get LSU softball and baseball fans caught up. LSU beat Texas A&M 17-3 in 5 innings. The opening SEC game for the Tigers. Home runs by Amanda Sanchez, by Shemaya Sanchez, by Elise Thornhill, and 2 from Michaela Schlottman. And the baseball game between California and LSU is in the bottom of the 6th inning at Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. California won, LSU won. Now, if you haven't heard, there has been a schedule change to the baseball this weekend. There will be 2 7-inning games tomorrow starting at 1 o'clock Central Time as they have moved Sunday's game to tomorrow to try to take advantage of an opening in what might be a wet weekend. There's Dee Dee Bro. Still with the tremendous enthusiasm, even after 42 years.
I've yet to see the chainsaw come out, and I've seen some stuff landing, so maybe on Beam it'll make its debut.
Well, we take a look at this huge crowd. If it exceeds 12,700 tonight, that would move LSU into the number 2 position for average crowd at home this year, only behind Utah. So I don't know what this crowd is right now. It has not been announced, but anything exceeding 12,700 would move LSU past Alabama and into second place for average home attendance, only behind Utah.
I think it's definitely going to be close. You see most of the seats filled. It's loud in here tonight, and it's about to get louder when the Tigers come to floor.
Would you have believed if I would have told you 10 years ago, for example, that the second most attended home sporting events at LSU is gymnastics, only behind football?
Oh my goodness, I don't think so, but I knew that gymnastics always had that potential because it's just such an exciting sport, and every time the Olympics rolls around, everyone's most excited sport to watch is gymnastics.
Here's the Oregon State beam lineup, Singley, and you see the rest of them there. Singley at 9.667, her average. She'll be followed by Mariana Calusi-Palayath.
Season high on this event is a 9.85. And that's a strong leadoff score if she can get that here tonight or better.
Right now, for both of these teams, it's not about who wins the meet. It's about that final score.
Absolutely. A win is obviously something that both teams are wanting, but at the end of the night, every team that competes is competing against every single other team in the nation that competes this weekend. So putting up a huge team score is definitely most important.
And while judging certainly carries its aspect of subjectivity, rankings do not in gymnastics. There's no polling. You are what the numbers say you are.
Absolutely. Got a great beam set going so far. Front toss, small wobble. Cartwheel to gainer, layout full. Small hop on landing, but a great leadoff beam routine.
Well, Kaylee, the attendance has been announced. It's 11,015. Just over 11,000 tonight. Another tremendous crowd. This is the event that's announced as floor time here at LSU. Ruby Harold is up first.
You'll see all the fans start to get on their feet as soon as the Tigers hit the floor. Ruby's a two-time Olympian for Great Britain, so she brings a lot of experience. She goes for that first tumbling pass. Front handspring double full, beautifully done. She opened up the rotation last week with a 9.825. Nice double pike, beautiful form, and a very nice landing. He's doing a great job so far. Just Got a solid routine going. She's got some personality, drawing the judges in, which is another thing that they're going to be looking for. They want you to get them involved. They want to be excited to watch your floor routine. They don't want to be bored. 4.5 to punch layout. Solid routine that I think could very well go 9-9 for Ruby Harold. There's that huge double pike. Ankles were glued together. 4.5 to punch layout. Again, beautifully done. A great lead off.
McKenna Singley was 9.75 on the Oregon State beam. And this is Mariana Kalusi-Polayev.
9.85 is her career high on the balance beam.
Better known as Pinky by her teammates.
It's a lot easier to say than her name, so it's a good nickname. Beautiful front aerial. She's a two-time Pac-12 all-freshman first team. Very nice back handspring layout step out. In Oregon this year, their theme is believe, passion, integrity, and discipline. So those 4 words are just something that they're abiding by this year. They've gotten written on clothing, on socks. I saw it earlier. So it's really cool to kind of have a little motto.
Oregon State with ranked 15th in the country this week. They feel like that they potentially are better than that. They think they may be in that 8, 9, 10 area if everybody performs to their capacity.
And that's what it is at this point for Oregon State, is just finding the right groove, having everyone hit at the same time, because they are capable of higher. I see it in their gymnastics. They just have to get consistent with it.
Well, all 4 of the Beavers lineups are ranked among the top 26 in the country, so that shows some consistency.
They've got great skills. They've just got to get out there and just be a little bit more consistent so that the scores show.
Christina Desiderio.
She's an All-American on this event, and 9.9 is her career high. She opens up with a huge double layout. Very nice. She liked that landing. Like we mentioned before, Ashley Claire Kearney does all of the choreography for LSU Gymnastics.
Desiderio, one of the shorter gymnasts at 5 feet even, a sophomore from Hackettstown, New Jersey. There's a lot of power packed into that body.
Absolutely. She's doing a great job. Last tumbling pass, she's going to want to get a lot of height and execute that landing. The other 2 tumbling passes have been really good, so she needs to finish off strong.
Here's something that's overlooked sometimes. When she was on campus as a freshman, she was 16 years old.
Absolutely. I remember her coming in and being that young, so it's amazing to see all that she's done at such a young age.
Still only a sophomore.
Yeah, she still has time, and she's just getting better every single year, and that floor routine was really something special for her.
She's mobbed by her teammates at the end. Let's take another look.
There's that double layout. Chest down on the landing a little bit. And here's a front through into a nice high double tuck. That should definitely put up a good score for Christina.
Lacey Dagan on beam. Mariana Kalusi-Polayev's beam score was 9.85. Desiderio, the same score on the floor exercise, 9.85.
Nicely done. She's got really nice dance from her fingers to her toes. She's very, very poised and very confident. Spring layout, step out. Acro series looked like it floated in the air. She did it so well. Full turn, and another required element on the balance beam. And the gainer pike off the end of the balance beam for a very nice set. It was beautiful. So dismount, gainer pike. Very beautiful. Great beam routine.
Reagan Campbell is next. She's averaged better than 9.85 on this event.
She's broken into this lineup, and she's capable of really high scores.
Reagan is 5 feet 1 inches tall, a sophomore from Dallas.
You don't see a lot of gymnasts in college who twist. They mainly flip or flip and twist at the same time. So it's really nice to see a gymnast who can have good spin in the air and control their landings.
She was really good last week against Georgia with a 9.975.
Double tuck just opened up a little bit too early and landed short.
Campbell still very young in her LSU career. She's won one event, and that was on beam.
She's got very nice lines, very nice splits in all of her jumps. That's also something the judges are looking for. Are you hitting 180? If not, you will get a deduction for sure. Even in the choreography, if your toes aren't pointed in your dance as soon as they come off the floor, that could also be a deduction. So that's why choreographing routines takes a long time so that you can be sure you're not going to get anything taken off. And a very nice final tumbling pass for Reagan.
Lacey Dagan, by the way, a 9.9 on beam. Very nice. That ties her season's high. As we look at Campbell in the rearview mirror.
Overall, a very nice routine from Reagan Campbell.
Here's Sabrina Gill. This is one of her best events.
Sabrina signed with Oregon in November of 2014, but she actually deferred in 2015-2016 in order to train for the Canadian Olympic team.
Gill normally performs on beam and bars. Her best beam score is 9.9. Like LSU, Oregon State will host an NCAA regional April 4th, 5th, and 6th in Corvallis.
It's always nice when you host your own regional. You can be in your own arena, have your fans there. Makes it a little bit more comfortable because that meet is a huge meet, especially this year with the format changing. A little bit of a hiccup on beam. She fell, so she's going to have to get up there and try to make the rest of the routine as perfect as possible.
She's won 5 event titles in her career. 1 bars, 1 beam, 3 all around.
Dismount left, gainer layout full, finishes strong, but I know she's very upset about that fall because beam is one of her strong events and she probably never misses that. Beautiful back handspring layout step out with a small wobble on the end. And then there's the dismount.
So back we go to the floor exercise. Kennedy Edney.
And next on floor for LSU, Kennedy Edney.
Watch the power and the height that Edney possesses in this routine.
Especially in this first pass with her huge double Arabian. She had the best floor routine of the season last week versus Georgia. She scored a 9.925.
She's won 3 times in her career on floor.
And that was just as perfect as you could possibly do a double Arabian. It was high and the landing was stuck perfectly.
That's an eye popper to get things started for sure.
Absolutely.
31 times Kennedy Edney has won an individual title. 13 on vault, 6 on bars, 2 on beam, 3 on floor, and 7 times a winner in the all-around.
She's definitely a standout performer on every single event. She's had some trouble in this floor routine towards the beginning of the season, but last week I think she turned a corner with that high 9.925 that got her confidence up, and this floor routine has been fantastic so far. Last tumbling pass. 3 solid tumbling passes for Kennedy Edney. And I know she's happy with that. We'll see what the judges think. Just that double Arabian again. Small form deductions in her feet in that double Arabian, but the landing was beautiful. Then again with the legs apart in the double back, but the landing was perfect.
The crowd is wanting a 10. I don't think she's going to reach that, but darn near perfect.
It will definitely be close.
Maddie Dagan has been really good on beam. Well, the crowd tells the story. Kennedy Edney, a 10 on the floor. Listen to the ovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the score on the floor for LSU's Kennedy Edney.
I know that is such a special moment for her. All of your hard work and all of your dedication, and then when you get that perfect score.
And they have become rarer in 2019 across the country.
Absolutely. The judges were looking for those stuck landings, and Kennedy delivered.
I think judging on the whole has been a bit more strict this year than in previous years, and I think it's been a bit more consistent.
Yes, absolutely. And you want to be consistent so that you can be fair amongst all teams. Maddie Dagan for Oregon State.
Maddie Dagan.
Handspring layout step out. Very nice. Having to go on beam when the crowd is cheering is very nerve-wracking, so she's got to stay inside of her own head, breathe, and focus on what she needs to do to hit this beam routine. Aerial to back layout full, perfectly stuck. Small bounce check here and there in that beam routine, but overall a very solid set. Just that side aerial to back layout full dismount. Very nice.
Every fan in the house can now redeem their meat tickets from tonight for free Fulton Street ribs and TJ Ribs both tonight and tomorrow.
Look at this floor average for Sarah Finnegan, 9.933. This is one of the best consistent floor exercise performers in the nation.
She is capable of getting a 10 on this floor routine as well. This floor lineup is stacked. Now 4.5 step out. Into a 2.5. Very nice.
That's a lot of stuff in one pass.
Definitely is, and she makes it look easy, but I promise you it's not. Beautiful double tuck. Her ankles and her toes were perfectly pointed in together.
She had a 10 on the floor exercise against Auburn a year ago. "11 individual career titles on floor for Finnegan.
SEC all-around champion. I mean, she's got an extensive gymnastics resume. And she's closing out her gymnastics career this year, and she's just gotten better as each year goes on.
77 career individual titles.
She's got one final tumbling pass left, and so far, in my eyes, she's been perfect. Beautiful double cut. Perfectly stuck with that double pipe.
Could we see back-to-back 10s?
I think so. I really do. You cannot ask for a more beautiful floor routine than what Sarah Finnegan just did.
Was there anything amiss?
I did not see anything. I did not see a toe out of place. I did not see one bent leg, bent knee, even in her choreography.
We will let the crowd tell you if she scores perfect or not. But my goodness, the energy, the height, the creativity, the difficulty. One judge has scored a 10, but it's going to be a 9.95.
I would really love to know what deduction they saw in her flow routine.
Near perfect, but not quite there.
Very nice. Small balance check on the end. Dropped her shoulder a little bit.
Layla Lazaro. Let me correct myself. Actually, both judges scored Finnegan a 9.95.
Aerial into a back layout full. Dipped down on the landing a little bit. Small balance checks here and there, but she made it through the routine, and it was a pretty solid finish for Oregon State. That back handspring layout step out series and the dismount.
Tonight's attendance, 11,015 Tiger fans. Thank you.
McKenna Kelly,
And with tonight's attendance,
for the final time during the regular season in this building.
I know she's feeling all sorts of emotions, just like the other seniors. It's just something that can't be explained.
Her mom and dad were here participating in the senior observance prior to the meet. There's a lot of dynamite in this package, too.
Absolutely. She's got some power. Goes with a huge double layout. Very nicely done. That might be the best I've seen her do that pass. Her chest was up, the landing was stuck. I love how into her floor routine she gets. There's so much personality. It's so exciting to watch. And she could be knocking at the door at a perfect 10 as well.
She's won 3 floor exercises in her career.
And she is the 2017 SEC floor champ, so this is definitely her event.
Her best ever score, 9.975. Just a tick under perfect.
Will she get it tonight on senior night? We'll
McKenna Lane Kelly.
That was a beautiful double tuck, and you could see it in her face.
The crowd is standing again and roaring. The emotion in here is palpable.
There is no better feeling than your team running up and giving you a hug after you just hit an amazing routine. The crowd is chanting 10. We'll see what they say.
That was a 10 start value. Perfect. Perfection for McKenna Kelly.
Very well done. Very well deserved.
How about the last 3 floor routines for LSU? 10, 9.95, and 10.
It's truly amazing. This floor lineup has really done such a great job tonight, and I think it's one of the best floor teams that we've seen, especially these last few meets. They've really stepped up.
Even Oregon State is applauding. They were over there celebrating and giving some encouragement.
That's what it's all about. It's about camaraderie. No matter what conference you're in, you're happy for each other and you're supportive.
Wow. What a finale we've seen from LSU on floor. And the final score, LSU for the first time this season exceeds the 198 mark. That's the magic number. 198.195 for the Tigers, 196.375 for Oregon State. The celebration continues. Look at all those lofty scores for LSU on floor exercise. Kennedy Edney, McKenna Kelly, both perfect. Sarah Finnegan, near perfect. Ruby Harold, very good at the top. Christina Desiderio with a 9.85. And the Beavers on beam. The best score, the 9.9 by Lacey Dagan. And so we have wrapped it up here tonight as LSU continues to peak as this season goes on. The best 2 scores so far for the LSU Tigers have come last week against Georgia and this week in the non-conference meet against Oregon State. We'll come back to wrap it up for you in just a moment. The Tigers are winners over Oregon State as the Beavers suffer their first loss away from Corvallis this year.
Drop that baby.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
This was the highest score of the season for the LSU Tigers. The 198 is the magic number. You want to get there or exceed it to have a chance to win a national championship. That's exactly what LSU did tonight in the Maravich Center against Oregon State. So, Kaylee Abood, this was a fine way for the Tigers to say goodbye to their home crowd during the regular season, and great performances by Edney and Kelly. Perfect scores on floor. The beam score for LSU tied the season's best, and the floor score was the season's best at 49.675. Good stuff tonight from the Tigers.
Absolutely. I think they came out and they did exactly what the coaching staff and what they wanted to do as a team. They came out and they hit. They got multiple 10s. They fed off of each other. They were sticking dismounts, hitting handstands, and that got them over the 198 mark.
And a crowd of more than 11,000 goes home very happy tonight as LSU gets it done over Oregon State. So that's the story from Louisiana's capital. For Kaylee Abood, I'm Lynn Rollins saying so long from Baton Rouge. The final score, LSU 198.15 to Oregon State's 196.375. This has been a presentation of ESPN.